Welcome back to Firepower. Imagine you're 5 miles from the nearest road, the temperature is dropping by the minute, and a wounded moose disappears into a wall of thick alderbrush. As you follow the blood trail, you realize you're no longer the only predator tracking it. Somewhere ahead, a brown bear may already be closing the distance. This is the moment most hunters never think about when they're standing at the gun counter. They spend thousands of dollars on the latest rifle, yet almost no time asking what happens after the shot is fired. In Alaska, pulling the trigger isn't the hardest part. Dealing with everything that comes next is. The internet will tell you that bigger is always better, but surviving the encounter matters far more than chasing the biggest numbers on a ballistics chart. The cartridge that tops today's list, it isn't the most powerful or the most expensive. It's the one that delivers the fewest compromises when every decision matters. Today, Firepower ranks the 7 hunting cartridges that Alaskan hunters trust when failure simply isn't an option. Before we begin the countdown, it's important to understand one thing. Alaska plays by a completely different set of rules. This isn't Texas, where the nearest road may be just minutes away. It isn't the Midwest, where open farmland gives you clear visibility and easy recovery. Alaska means grizzlies, giant moose, towering mountains, icy rivers, endless tundra, and dense alder thickets that can swallow both hunters and game. Out here, every mistake is magnified. A poor shot doesn't just mean losing an animal. It can mean losing hundreds of pounds of meat, spending days tracking through unforgiving terrain, or even finding yourself in a dangerous encounter with a predator. That's why this ranking isn't based on internet hype or paper ballistics alone. We're judging each cartridge by what truly matters in the Alaskan wilderness. Stopping power, practical hunting range, real-world reliability, meat preservation, ammunition availability, manageable recoil for accurate follow-up shots, affordable practice, and the versatility to handle everything from open tundra to thick brush. In Alaska, the best cartridge isn't the most powerful one, it's the one you can trust when every shot carries real consequences. Coming in at number 7 is the .308 Winchester, a cartridge that has earned its reputation through decades of dependable performance rather than flashy marketing. While many hunters chase the latest magnums, thousands of experienced Alaskan guides continue to trust the .308 because they know consistency often matters more than raw power. It delivers excellent performance on caribou, black bears, and even smaller moose when paired with quality hunting ammunition and proper shot placement. Another advantage is its moderate recoil, allowing most shooters to practice more, shoot with greater confidence, and avoid the flinch that powerful Magnum cartridges often create. That confidence frequently translates into better accuracy when the pressure is on. However, the .308 does have a limit. When the hunt turns into a closer range encounter with a massive coastal brown bear, many hunters prefer cartridges that offer greater penetration and stopping power. This is where confidence beats horsepower, but only until the job demands more than the .308 was designed to deliver. At number 6 is the 7mm Remington Magnum, a cartridge built for hunters who spend more time looking across valleys than through thick brush. Its flat trajectory, high muzzle velocity, and excellent ballistic coefficients allow it to resist wind drift better than many traditional hunting cartridges, making it a favorite for mountain sheep hunts and long canyon shots where every inch matters. When distances stretch and crosswinds become unpredictable, These aerodynamic advantages can make a meaningful difference. However, those strengths are most valuable only when long-range opportunities are realistic. In the dense timber or during a sudden closer-range encounter, that edge quickly fades. The 7mm Remington Magnum also comes with heavier recoil, increased muzzle blast, and a shorter barrel life than many standard cartridges, making it more demanding to practice with regularly. It is an outstanding long-range performer, but as hunting conditions change, its specialization becomes its greatest limitation, fantastic at distance, until the distance disappears. Coming in at number 5 is the .4570 Government, a cartridge that has survived for well over a century because it excels where many modern cartridges struggle. In the thick brush of Alaska, where visibility is measured in yards instead of hundreds of yards, its massive, heavy bullets deliver tremendous closer-range authority. Paired with a reliable lever-action rifle, the .4570 offers fast follow-up shots and instinctive handling, making it a trusted choice for bush hunting and a reassuring companion in areas where a surprise bear encounter is always possible. Inside 75 yards, many hunters would gladly choose a .457 over a .338 Winchester Magnum for its immediate impact and quick handling in dense cover. However, that power comes with compromises. Its heavy ammunition, pronounced bullet drop, and limited effective range make it far less practical once shots begin to stretch across open tundra or mountain valleys. The .4570 is a brush hammer devastating up close, but built for a very specific job rather than every hunting situation. At number 4 is the .3006 Springfield, a cartridge that has stood the test of time for more than a century. In an industry constantly chasing the next breakthrough, the 3006 continues to earn the trust of hunters because it has proven itself across generations. One of its greatest strengths is versatility. Whether you're loading lightweight, 150-grain bullets for deer, 165-grain loads for all-around hunting, 180-grain bullets for moose and elk, or heavy 220-grain projectiles for maximum penetration, the .3006 can be tailored to almost any hunting situation. It sits comfortably between the lighter recoiling .308 Winchester and the harder-hitting .300 Winchester Magnum, offering an excellent balance of power, flexibility, and shootability. While it may not be the fastest or the flattest shooting cartridge on this list, it rarely leaves hunters wishing they had chosen something else. Sometimes old designs survive because they solved the problem decades ago, and the .3006 Springfield is one of the best examples of that truth. At number 3 is the .300 Winchester Magnum, a cartridge that has earned its reputation by delivering outstanding performance when the distances get long and the stakes get high. If you're glassing a massive bull moose across a wide valley or facing unpredictable winds on the open tundra, the .300 Win Mag offers the flat trajectory, retained energy, and wind resistance needed to make difficult shots with confidence. Even at extended ranges, it carries impressive striking power, making it one of the most capable all-around Magnum cartridges ever designed. But that performance comes at a cost. Heavy recoil can slow follow-up shots. The sharp muzzle blast is punishing without hearing protection, and closer-range impacts can result in significant meat damage if bullet selection isn't carefully considered. Then, there's the wallet. Test. Both rifles and ammunition are typically more expensive, making regular practice a bigger investment. The .300 Winchester Magnum is undeniably powerful, But power always comes with a bill, and every hunter must decide whether the advantages justify the trade-offs. At number 2 is the legendary .375H Magnum, a cartridge that has earned the respect of professional hunters for more than a century. Built for dangerous game in Africa, it has also proven itself in Alaska, where massive brown bears demand deep penetration and dependable stopping power. Few cartridges inspire the same level of confidence when the distance is short and the consequences are serious. That psychological reassurance is one reason so many experienced guides continue to trust it. However, the .375H is not without compromises. Rifles are typically heavier, ammunition is expensive, recoil is substantial, and for most deer or caribou-sized game, it is simply more power than necessary. It is an exceptional stopper, but one that demands both commitment and a clear purpose. Taking the number 1 spot is the .338 Winchester Magnum, the cartridge that many experienced Alaskan guides consider the closest thing to a true all-purpose hunting round. It has the power to handle massive moose, the penetration needed for coastal brown bears, and more than enough reach for caribou across open tundra. Unlike larger dangerous game cartridges, it delivers exceptional performance without becoming unnecessarily heavy or difficult to shoot. It also benefits from widespread ammunition availability and a broad selection of modern hunting bullets, allowing hunters to tailor loads for different game and conditions. That balance is exactly why it has remained an Alaskan favorite for decades. It isn't too large for most hunts, yet it offers a reassuring margin of power when the unexpected happens. This isn't the strongest cartridge ever made. It's simply the one that leaves the fewest compromises, making it the standard by which every other all-around Alaska cartridge is measured. The biggest lesson from this list has very little to do with ballistics and everything to do with how hunters make decisions. Too many people choose a cartridge by comparing energy charts, watching YouTube reviews, or following the latest marketing trends. Those numbers and opinions may be interesting, but they don't determine success in the field. Real hunting demands a different approach. Start by thinking about the terrain you'll be hunting, the animals you're pursuing, the distances you're most likely to shoot, and your own level of experience. Then consider practical factors such as ammunition cost, local availability, and whether you can afford to practice enough to become truly confident with your rifle. The best cartridge is rarely the one with the biggest numbers. It's the one that fits your mission, your skills, and the conditions you'll actually face when the moment of truth arrives. If you're building an Alaska hunting setup, start by matching your cartridge to the job instead of searching for a one-size-fits-all answer. For dedicated caribou hunts, the .308 Winchester offers excellent accuracy, manageable recoil, and affordable practice. If mountain sheep are your primary target, the 7mm Remington Magnum shines with its flat trajectory and superior wind performance. In dense alder where shots are close and fast, the .4570 Government remains one of the most effective options. For hunters wanting a dependable all-around rifle, the 3006 Springfield continues to prove why it has lasted for generations. If long-range moose hunting is your priority, the .300 Winchester Magnum delivers exceptional reach and energy. For dangerous game, the .375H Magnum provides tremendous stopping power, but if you could own only one rifle to hunt nearly everything Alaska has to offer, the .338 Winchester Magnum remains the benchmark because it delivers the best balance of power versatility and real-world practicality. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the mistakes that matter far more than choosing the wrong cartridge. Many hunters make is buying more recoil than they can actually control. A powerful rifle means very little if it causes you to flinch or hesitate when the moment of truth arrives. Another common mistake is failing to practice regularly because ammunition is too expensive. Confidence is built on repetition, not ballistics charts. Too many hunters also choose a cartridge simply because it's the current favorite on YouTube or social media, instead of selecting one that matches the game they pursue and the terrain they hunt. Others focus only on the first shot while ignoring the importance of a fast, accurate follow-up, or they overlook how excessive power can destroy valuable meat on medium-sized game. Remember this simple truth: the cartridge doesn't miss, people do. Good judgment, consistent practice, and knowing your limits will always matter more than chasing the latest trend. That brings us to the biggest takeaway from today's ranking. The best cartridge isn't the one that wins arguments online or dominates internet forums. It's the one you can trust when the nearest road is miles away, the weather turns against you, and there is no backup coming. In Alaska, reliability, preparation, and confidence outweigh hype every single time. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. If you could take only one rifle and one cartridge on a once-in-a-lifetime Alaska hunt, which would you choose? Would it be the dependable .308 Winchester, the legendary .3006 Springfield, the hard-hitting .300 Winchester Magnum, the versatile .338 Winchester Magnum, or the unstoppable .375 H Magnum? Cast your vote in the comments and tell us why. If you enjoyed this practical, experience-driven breakdown, give this video a like and subscribe to Firepower for more honest, in-depth discussions about firearms, ammunition, and hunting. And don't miss next week's episode, where we'll expose some of the biggest myths ever told about dangerous game rifles. You won't want to miss it.